I do take it as a sign of disrespect to Caitlin Clark.
I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with. That's what Caitlin Clark.
Following Caitlin Clark's announcement of her departure from the United States, the WNBA is officially in disarray. She was forced out by severe bullying, ongoing injuries, and lack of protection from league officials.
She's just not built for the physicality of this league.
Yeah,
and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
Her success was too much for the envious veterans to handle, and now their lone star is gone. This league cannot function without her, I assure you. The golden goose is her. Pure pandemonium, fear, and meltdown mode are what we mean. Thanks to Caitlin Clark declaring her departure from America and dropping the biggest mic in the pitiful history of the league. Yes. The only reason half of these empty arenas had people seated in them was because they were leaving, and all of a sudden it seemed like they realized their tiny kingdom was based on phony excitement and paper straws.
She's the golden goose.
You would think that given how much this league profited from her success, they would at least make an effort to safeguard their brightest star, but the WNBA did not. What did they do when Caitlin Clark entered and utterly turned their dying league upside down? Every night, let her get hammered like it's WWE while the refs just applauded. The girl said it herself. Out there, I'm getting blasted. Those who oppose it get away with it. And while Clark is out there getting body smacked, the officials are just relaxing, most likely scrolling through Twitter.
Yes, you have somebody in Caitlin Clark who became the face of the league the first year that she was in the WNBA. She put up crazy numbers last season, and even in this season where she has struggled more games than she has balled out.
But really, who gives a damn? This is their only meal ticket. They don't really need her to keep the lights on, sell tickets, or sell jerseys. The resentful veterans who are unable to fill high school arenas did not attract fans. They arrived to pursue Caitlin Clark. The panic button is being hammered so hard that it most likely breaks in half as she leaves.
It does just show the disrespect within the league, and no matter what Caitlin does, it seems to be something where she's either going to have to tirelessly earn the respect of her colleagues or she's never going to get it.
Here's the true joke, heck. The WNBA has been boasting about a historic expansion to 18 teams and prancing around like they're the next NBA. 18 groups. Even the arenas you now have are too little for you.
They're clearly afraid to protect Caitlin Clark from the bully tactics and the excessive physicality inflicted on her. Heck,
the majority of these arenas are only 70 to 80% full. And that includes bargain evenings, free ticket freebies, and most likely bribing attendees. Of course, let's add 5 more clubs to a league that loses money more quickly than Ryan Reynolds loses money in all of his films. Unlike the WNBA, which hasn't produced a single penny in nearly 30 years, Reynolds at least knows how to conduct business.
But if you're not delivering the product and you're not making the revenue and you're not, giving people the entertainment that they want, then you're not going to make any money and your league is going to...
Yes, you heard correctly. Not one successful season in 3 decades. They are essentially the charity case of professional sports, supported like some political pet project where sponsors and taxpayers keep the ship afloat while everyone acts as though everything is going according to plan. But now that Caitlin Clark is gone, they can bid the phony business act farewell. Without her, ticket sales stagnate, national interest fades, and jersey sales flatline. When someone makes a layup, they collapse more forcefully than their opponents.
Voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with. That's what Caitlin Clark said.
This is the bit, though, that truly makes the entire catastrophe absurd. Caitlin Clark was more than just a skilled athlete. These clowns had deceived her, the one-woman economic miracle. Have you ever witnessed the WNBA break records? No. This is due to the fact that it didn't occur until Clark took the court. Fever games drew more than 17,000 spectators on average. That benefits more than just them. For the entire league, that is a record. And here's the thing. 2,711 people attended just one of their home games against Clark. The most people have ever attended a WNBA game.
Fault of the WNBA.
In the meantime, Several of these teams can't even pull more than a neighborhood Starbucks on a weekday morning without Clark. Yes, let's continue to pretend that this league is flourishing. In her first year, her presence alone brought in over 500,000 new fans. Suddenly, 500,000 people were interested in a league that most of them were unaware even existed. And how is she compensated by the players? Insecure veterans who couldn't handle the fact that a rookie, a literal newbie, succeeded where they've been failing for decades, with envy, filthy hits, trash talk, and faux respect behind her back.
The Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,000.
When even their dusty, 10-year-old stuff begins to fly off the shelves due to Caitlin Clark's arrival, you can tell how dire things are. Everyone, including veterans, sold out of her jersey. In a matter of weeks, WNBA memorabilia that had been gathering dust since the early 2000s vanished. Sold out. Since, let's be honest, Clark was the only reason to care, fans were rushing to acquire a piece of her.
Caitlin Clark gets, even though she doesn't do much on social media, doesn't say much when she's interviewed, just says all the right things, nothing but cliches and platitudes, nothing but respect for all of the older stars in the league.
Networks were also in disarray. Everyone is vying to broadcast her games. Sponsors are lining up as if it were Black Friday. Nike spent $28 million on her. Since Wilson and Gatorade are not fools, they all wanted to participate in the Caitlin Clark show. They witnessed what the WNBA was unable to. The league as a whole was being sustained by one player. Nevertheless, despite everything, Clark was met with nothing but animosity from the resentful, insecure athletes who couldn't abide that she was superior to them. Physical harassment, persistent targeting, little formal protection, and a league administration so incompetent that they essentially gave her walking papers.
This league office is obviously deathly afraid of an open player revolt.
She is leaving, which is what any sensible person would do. The WNBA is currently forced to watch its purported business fail. All because they were unable to deal with a single novice demonstrating the process. The WNBA did not simply ignore the situation. They essentially distributed the brass knuckles. Like the envious, cruel girls they are, their players coordinated a verbal and physical defamation campaign. They all wanted to destroy the one rookie who kept their careers from becoming completely obscure.
Because it's Caitlin Clark and she can't do that game.
Let's discuss the All-Star rankings if you felt that wasn't awful enough. With more than 1.29 million votes, Caitlin Clark received the highest amount of votes ever cast by fans. However, you know what? She was buried to 9th place in player voting by the envious veterans. The 9th. In a league where women is the sole reason that tickets are sold, jerseys are sold out, and games are televised. Like resentful children, they pushed her down the ranks.
Chicago Sky here from Wintrust Arena. The Fever stretched out this one.
Even the media, which isn't exactly renowned for adoring Clark, gave her a 3rd best guard ranking. However, the athletes' wounded egos were unable to cope with it. As a result, they destroyed her rating as if it were a high school popularity pageant rather than a professional basketball competition. In the meantime, Paige Bueckers inexplicably scored higher than Clark. The player votes revealed the entire hoax, even though Clark attracted more attention and greater numbers. Skill is not a factor in the All-Star rankings. Clicks, partiality, and feigning support for one another while betraying their best players are what they're all about.
You need to blitz her off of any screen. Why would you need to be physical with her if she wasn't that great of a player? Or you're just wasting your energy and you just simply don't like her. It's either one of the other.
Clark's own Fever teammate, Aaliyah Boston, too fell victim to the envious hit job. Despite Boston's statistical dominance, the players ranked her 7th among frontcourt players. What a waste of teamwork. Sophie Cunningham was spot on. The Fever is disliked by all. The league as a whole runs on mean girls' energy, undermining anyone who poses a danger to their feeble, collapsing hierarchy.
Weighted score, then Caitlin Clark. The fans ranked her at 2, the media ranked her at the 5th best guard, and the players ranked her as the 4th best guard.
The biggest farce is the notion that the WNBA is expanding. Their public relations team claims that the league is expanding, introducing new clubs, and doing better than ever. Let's discuss actual numbers, though. Only 410,000 people watched playoff games like Atlanta Dream versus New York Liberty. More individuals may be viewing paint dry on YouTube.
But there is no person in the world who can convince me that there are 8 better guards than Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And I also think it's so interesting.
The so-called Big Three stars were talked up, sellouts were promised, and the viewing was enormous, yet they were only able to generate half the numbers. On her worst day, Clark did. Without Clark, the league regresses to insignificance more quickly than they can fabricate attendance figures. Sponsors disappearing like unsuccessful Tinder dates, empty stadia, and falling ticket prices. Without Clark, the WNBA is a recipe for disaster. Their leadership, headed by the perpetually absent Kathy Angelbert, was unable to shield their sole valuable member from the verbal and physical abuse. The one individual who kept them relevant was betrayed by them.
And it's not truly about skill at all. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? Yes.
They are flaunting an 18-team expansion that is solely based on Clark's enthusiasm. They wouldn't be able to offer Ethiopian breadcrumbs at the concession stand without her. However, let's act as though this league is prospering while their lone star laughs. At last, Caitlin Clark took the action that any rational person would take. After gathering her belongings and regaining her dignity, she departed from the clown act. She formally declared that she was leaving the WNBA circus to travel to Europe. Can you really blame her? The only thing that surprised me after her year was that she didn't depart sooner.